Hi, I'm Summey, Mayor of the City of North Charleston. Our pioneer project was reinventing the local economy through sustainable urban redevelopment. It's something that we have been working on since the closure of the naval base in 1996. Our major concern was not just losing these jobs, but the spin-off jobs in all the other markets in the area. Now all of a sudden we had to come up with a new strategy for growth. We came up with the idea that we would go up and try to get high technical jobs. We have been unbelievably successful in doing so as a community. We have developed sustainable neighborhoods. We came up with a plan for 3,000 acres. Communities that had a lot of high crime rates are now seeing sustainable growth. Got young couples moving back into the inner city. Our old shopping district had no participation of people coming in. Now it is home to about 13 restaurants, have some shopping that you can do, spas, hairdressers. It's just a great center point of activity. We have seen a rebirth of the city of North Charleston, going from a 50,000 population after base closure to over 105,000 today. We have seen new industries coming in. Boeing has already invested $3 billion in this area and announcing another $1 billion and another 2,000 jobs to add to the 6,000 jobs they've already created. So we have a government that listens to the needs of our people, the needs of our businesses, pulls it all together to make sure that we can have sustainable growth for today and tomorrow.
My name is Ben Zimmer, and I'm the Executive Director of the Connecticut Policy Institute. And our submission to the Better Government competition was titled Evaluating State Incentives for Business. Nationally, state governments spend more than $80 billion each year on tax credits, subsidies, and other payments to companies designed to get them to keep existing jobs in a state or bring new jobs to a state. But in order to fund these payments, states have to issue new debt or raise taxes on everyone else, which creates a negative drag on the economy and economic growth. And so the question and problem we sought to address was whether these incentives are good or bad things, and how to distinguish good ones from wasteful ones. And in order to address this challenge, we developed a three-part test for distinguishing good from bad incentives. The first part of the test is that the jobs generated from an incentive should create incremental tax revenues that cover the cost in no more than 10 years. The second part of the test is that the jobs should remain economically viable in the state where the incentive was awarded, even after the incentive expired. And the third part of the test is that the subsidies should not go to jobs that would have been created anyway. A large number of actual existing state incentives throughout the country, as well as some incentives the federal government has passed, fail one or more of these criteria. And so our proposal is to have state governments and the federal government, through executive order or legislation, formally adopt these criteria into state incentive policies and require companies seeking state incentives to submit grant applications, clearly showing how they meet each one.
A big problem generally is that if people have the inspiration to create something new or potentially create value and disrupt or change the economy, they might not necessarily have the resources to do so. So MassChallenge as an organization aims to change that by offering early stage startups and entrepreneurs the opportunity to have access to all of the resources they could possibly need to launch and grow in the future.
And we do that through our accelerated competition model in order to create urgency and in order to source the best, most world-changing, highest impact startups in order to create real global change and to really address the resource gap that these entrepreneurs have.
And we do that by providing the entrepreneurs with office space, mentorship, resources, and ultimately at the end of the accelerator, with the competition framework, we award $1 million, no strings attached whatsoever. So we take nothing from these startups and we make it easy for them to create value.
We give entrepreneurs everything they need and all the room that they need to grow and truly realize their own destiny and really realize in the American dream of coming here and having your own idea and really making something out of it.
And a big question is, how do we make this happen? If we don't take anything from the entrepreneurs, we take no equity. We do it with corporate sponsors primarily, be it corporations, foundations, or the government. We are heavily funded by the community here in Boston, people who really want to foster innovation in the same way that we do. So we have fantastic sponsors, including Fidelity, Microsoft, Verizon, really big names that just want to help us make this change.
As a matter of fact, MassChallenge startups have created around 3,000 jobs since its inception.
And about 500 startups have come through our program. Millions of dollars in funding and revenue to those startups have come through following our program. So it's really just kind of a phenomenal thing where people are helping people and making value and creating jobs and doing everything that they can to start new economies and innovation and really change the world. And we're all industry, so these aren't just tech startups, they're healthcare, life sciences, energy, clean tech, retail, social impact even. So all of these companies are really making a huge difference.